Monday, 9 a.m. and got updates. If you watched the last one, was having a pretty bad Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday came around and I haven't made a video to make an update. So Wednesday, I got a set of 3 problems that really sucked. So one was an email problem, clients' emails weren't working. Number 2 was this discount that's supposed to apply for this e-commerce site that we built. It wasn't applying for some reason. Nobody changed anything. We don't manage the website, but nobody changed anything, and somehow, you know, it got messed up. And I also mentioned, like, this is where it gets weird. Like, that client was from 4 or 5 months ago. They've paid everything they've paid. So it's like we're kind of working for free, but we want to do a good service, but we don't want to always do it. So I offered them, you know, I had to offer them, hey, if you want service like this, we need to allow this, whatever. You know, we suggest you pay this monthly maintenance fee for these reasons, and here's the benefits. And it's like unbelievably good benefits too. There was that. And then finally there was, what was the third one? The form submission issue. Basically, there was like 20 sites that we had to test form submissions, and that just took a while. But anyways, they were all solved, and almost like in a clutch situation. So Thursday, I think, yeah, Thursday the form submission thing was done, or it was like Wednesday night. So that was actually easy. You just had to sit there for like a couple hours and then get them done. Super easy. Literally just log into all these websites, test all these forms, make sure they're being received. Done. But it took a while. But it sucked, you know, like who wants to be basically data entering for a while? But with that specific client, it's project based per hour. So I say, hey, this took me X hours, and they pay by that, and we have like a great relationship where it's never a question. I don't like make fake hours up, so it works out. And it's a decent rate, so I'm not complaining, to be honest. It's just boring to do that sometimes, but that's part of the deal. Then the problem with I want to leave the discount one last. What was the other one? Oh, the email problem. So the email problem, apparently, so if you guys know about hosting, there's one called Bluehost, there's GoDaddy, there's LP Engine, there's SiteGround, there's a lot of them. When clients don't really want to pay too much money, I recommend them Bluehost because it's affordable, it's fairly easy to use, the support is great. The support is the best support on the affordable hosting side, because there's one called Ionos, which is pretty popular. I never recommend them because their support sucks and they're always getting hacked. For some reason, if they have Ionos, they have a problem. Anyways, so I helped them set up their emails, which again, I don't want to do. Like, we don't offer that, but it's like almost like, well, we can't get this done without the domain and the email. So it's like, what I'm going to do now going forward, which I've mentioned, is we're going to charge for that. We're going to charge a decent amount, because it's like, hey, this is, sometimes it's easy to set up, sometimes it's a pain in the butt. And this one has been a huge pain. So what ended up happening is Bluehost stopped offering to create email accounts through them. So you used to log into Bluehost, you can create a Gmail or a Microsoft 365, and it would be through Bluehost, and it was a little easier because the domain's already there. And they specifically wanted to use Microsoft 365, which I don't, you know, I don't, like I said, we're not email experts. I don't do that. I've set up like plenty of Gmails, but it's not what we do. So anyways, so I talked to support. It turns out they no longer do the domain thing. I'm sorry, the email thing. They don't support that. You have to go to them directly. So once I told them that, and then the problem was their card stopped working automatically. So because there was no payment, it like canceled the account basically, and they were no longer servicing that, which is so dumb. Because they were working, okay? This is the stuff that's like, dude, we did our part. Then something happens. It's like, why are we doing this again? And so basically I canceled the subscription, even though there was nothing to cancel, it was canceled already. Went to Google, by the way, Google Workspace, created a new account, made 3 emails, updated the MX records so that it points the right direction, and guess what? It worked within like a couple hours. It was fine. So if we would have just started with Gmail, that's another thing. It's gonna we only offer Gmail. Like we cannot unless you gotta pay more if you want to do something we're not familiar with. The Gmail, you know, if we would have done that from the beginning, it would have taken an hour max to test, to get all the to create, to set up the payment. Which, by the way, I paid with my business credit card because I didn't want to go ask them and then wait, and then it's like, dude, I just need to finish this. So that was done, and it's kind of annoying, right? Because like email is very important. That's how people communicate with their customers. So I don't see why it's our problem. But then again, I do understand when you know, when not everyone's tech savvy. And not everybody, like some people's way of solving things is to ask somebody to help them solve it. So I don't, you know, I don't blame them. But when they're all stacked like this, it gets really frustrating. So, and meanwhile, I'm doing these other problems. So this last problem is, again, there's a website we built a while back where if you're logged in as a wholesaler, you get discounts on the quantity of items you buy. For some reason, everything was working, but when you made it to the cart page, everything was working. When you went to checkout page, all the discounts were no longer applied. There was also a handling fee issue that they wanted to have. So I had to do a bunch of, like, I spent maybe like 4 hours on this. It's awful. Because what you do is you try to isolate the problem, and the way you do that is you remove plugins, and you keep removing plugins, and you keep testing until it works. And this website, it literally has like 30 plugins. So, because they want like very specific stuff to happen. So I tested all that, nothing worked. I was like, maybe something's wrong with the hosting. I checked with the hosting, Yonos, and apparently they have malicious software on there. So I fixed that with their support, which was awful. And this problem has been since Wednesday. So Wednesday, I was just messing around with it for a little bit. Tuesday, I messed around. Thursday, I messed a lot with it. I emailed their support. They didn't get back to me until like last night, Sunday. So like, we're too slow. And finally, Friday was super busy, by the way. Oh my God, do I have a story? I'll finish this first because it's part of the. Actually, I'll leave that as an open loop, and I'll let you know how it ends. So Friday, I go to have breakfast with a white label client. So like they refer a lot of work to us. So we every now and then we'll just eat. You know, it's not even really business related. It's like, hey, you know, how's it going? It is business related, but it's also anything else. I had a phone call for a lead that I had back in August of 2021. So it's like, okay, they're ready now. But I just remember it. I remember because it was kind of like an iffy league. I was like, you know, I don't know about this. And you know, surely enough, they never like paid the deposit. They never responded or anything like that. So you know, you kind of left with like, nah, I don't know. So I didn't pick up. Finished the meeting, came back home, started working. They called again, and they're like, hey, can we meet today? And I was like, they was like, when can we meet? And I was like, sometime next week. And they're like, well, is it possible to do today? I was like, damn, like, yeah, if you want to meet at the office, we can, or if you want to meet somewhere close, like in the middle. So I sent up the office because I still have the office until the end of March. The meeting rooms are great, so you know. But at the same time, I was like, let me try and do a coffee shop or something because that's how it's gonna be now. Because I'm gonna start working from home again, and what I do want to do is you can rent out meeting rooms from a lot of these co-working spaces for like 50, 75 bucks an hour, and that'll always be cheaper than what I was paying, which is damn near 1,000 bucks. And usually, you know, how many meetings do I have? Like 2, 4 max, like, and that's if it's really busy. And I can control, right? I can control like, hey, we only have an hour here, blah, blah, blah. So, so anyways, he sends me the address. It's a roofing company. So they sent me an address and they're like, actually, can you meet us here on this side of town? And I was like, sure. And it was like, is this, like, and I saw the address and I was like, I really hope this is like a site that you're working on, but I'm pretty sure this is y'all's house. And I was like, do I really go to somebody's house to pitch a website deal, you know? Like, do I really do that? Like, is that appropriate? B, I think that's the biggest thing. Like, is it safe? You know, am I gonna get murdered? But I was like, all right, do we want to close another deal? Sure. I've spoken to him before. Screw it, I'm just gonna go. Like, sometimes I feel like as a small business owner, like, you gotta do what you gotta do. Like, you know, it's not like it's raining leads all the time. We get leads, but it's not. Oh, that's the cool thing about having that whiteboard at the office is like I have them all written down. Probably have like 25 leads this year, which is not that bad to be honest. Mainly referrals. So I need to go jot that down actually. This weekend. So I went. So I go and luckily, you know, right outside it's the truck with the ladder and all the roofing gear. So it's like, okay, this is really them. And then I walk in and I'm like, oh my God. And they only speak Spanish, by the way, so that's like another curveball. I walk in and there's just, okay, so there's a guy outside who's a roofer guy. He's like, hey, come in. He's like, the guy you're gonna talk to is inside. I was like, okay, I come in. And then there's just kids, like 4, maybe 5 kids, literally screaming, running around, toys everywhere, yelling, and I'm like, oh my God, like, what am I doing? But seeing the kids, I was like, well, at least I'm not gonna die. This is just kind of like a weird situation. So I walk in and there's 3 people on the dinner table. So it's the main guy and like, I don't know, it's his helpers or his probably one of his wife. And I don't know, maybe, I don't know, I really don't know. So I sit down and again, the kids are screaming and running around. I say hello. And I guess part of this is why, like being part of like the Hispanic culture, like, you know, it's not that, like I've seen this before. I just haven't done this in a professional setting or in like a business setting, and I don't know them. And they didn't tell me, like if they just said, hey, it's gonna be at our home. Sorry, we have kids running around, but it's the best time we can meet is now, and it's unfortunately when these people are here. Like if they would have said something like that, that would have been nicer. But whatever, so I sat down, and then it was business as usual. I explained the website, I explained how it works, I explained Google Ads, because they want to get leads for the roofing company. And then all the, like again, all the meanwhile, people are screaming, little kids are screaming. And they're like, all right, yeah, we'll do it. Send us, you know, the invoice. I was just trying to get out of there. I was like, do you have any other questions? And then I'll have questions. It's kind of dumb because it's like, you know, it could have been like a Zoom, but again, once I think about it, it's like, wait a minute, they don't even know what like Zoom is. And so they were, you know, they wanted to do it. And another like quick side note, it's like, damn, it's actually amazing. Like as weird and strange as it was, when I was walking out, I was like, damn, like that's life. Like that's a hardworking life. Like it's a small business. It's probably, from what I can tell, it was 2 guys, like 2 main guys that run the roofing company. They got like 4 or 5 kids combined. They probably both are married. They're in a home that they're probably paying for. They've been in business for a year, so they've kept this up. They don't speak very good English, if they speak English at all. Like they had a girl who's like basically a translator for the main owner. And so it's like, damn, like that's tough. Like that looks like that's tough. Like kudos to that. Like you're even getting a marketing and websites and all, like smart enough to know like I need a site, I need to come up when people search up roofing companies near me. Like that's actually like kudos, like damn, that's tight. Like, you know, you might say like, oh, that's, you know, I would never do that, or why would I visit this guy? Like you know, like that's just not a professional stuff, which is true, like probably isn't, but it's like, damn, like this guy's about it. Like they're about it. They're about doing it. They're about supporting their family and, you know, getting more customers so they can, you know, they can make it or whatever. So that's what I thought when I was walking out. And sure enough, I come home, I send them the invoice. They try to pay it a couple times, but they it didn't. I don't know if they like bank blocked it or something. But they did it, ended up paying it to a new customer, which is great. So that was good. It was like, okay, whoa. I came back and I knew they gave me the verbal, and it was enough to be like, okay, I know they're gonna pay it. They may not pay it today, but they're gonna pay it. I've been wrong about that before, but I was like, okay, I gotta like put that aside now because I have to. Because while I was driving to the meeting, the lady texted me. I'm sorry, the discount problem person, client, texted me like, hey, I really need this solved. Like, you know, I have all these people, all her customers emailing them, like, I can't sell my product if this discount isn't working. And I'm like, okay, by the way, we're using the plugins that you already had and that you needed. We help you set it up, but we're not the developers of these plugins. Like, we don't, you know, it's like if you buy a car and you install a different, or you install a motor in it and then something's wrong with the motor. It's like, I bought the motor that you wanted, put it in. I don't know what's physically wrong with the motor. Anyways, maybe that's not the best analogy. So anyways, I could work on it for maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then I'm like, I don't know, like and it sucks because like the weekend, like you want to not be thinking of my work, but like knowing that somebody out there can't sell their product and it's not, you're the one that can fix it. Like maybe, you know, maybe you're not getting paid for it or maybe, you know, but it's like a weird responsibility that you feel. So I texted, I texted or whatever, G-chatted that same client that I help on a project-based hourly rate. I was like, hey, this is a long shot. I made a loom, like a share screen video. I was like, hey, here's a long shot, but this is when we get to the cart, it works. When we get to checkout, it doesn't work. Any ideas? Like, I think I've tried everything, but do you have anything else I can think of? And he's like, do you have time for a quick screen share? And I was like, sure. So I logged in, I shared my screen, and he's like, check this, check this, check this, check this, check this, check this. And we're literally checking everything. And it's like, yeah, yep, that's right, yep, that's right. Did you move plugins? Yep, like checklist, like I've done everything as well. And at the end, he's like, let's just check one more thing. Let's just check all the settings. So we go to the general tab of the plugin, and we're reading them the line by line, what's happened, like what's on and what's off. And then one of the lines says like, allow coupons at checkout or disallow coupons at checkout, and it's checked. Like it's literally like checked, like saying like you can't, you know, don't allow it at checkout. Don't let wholesale customers use discounts at checkout, or coupons rather. And I was like, wait, what the heck? And so I unchecked it. I saved. I went to the testing window. I hit update or reloaded it, and sure enough, boom, it worked. Like it started working. I was like, first of all, thank you, sir, for helping me find this problem. Second, I have zero idea how a box that was unchecked got checked. Like, that's the first thing you set up. Like, what, you know, we check so many things. And, you know, apparently, like sometimes when things update, like themes or plugins, it'll glitch and reset certain things. And so I think that's what happened. That's what happened. And so I was like, literally a checkbox was the issue that was to solve it. But here's. So I told the client's like super happy, and I had already told her about the whole maintenance thing, because it's like, hey, like if you want these problems to not happen every couple months, hire us to handle your maintenance, because basically nobody manages the website until something happens. Then she texts me and she's like, you know, hey, I need help. And so yeah, I should probably get it. And I was like, cool. So hosting, we use WP Engine when we have them on our hosting, and it's like, for this client, it's perfect. So one thing that WP Engine does, and probably other hostings, is like you can restore certain times. So like if the website's working right now, I can say, save this instance of the website, or this, let's call it instance of the website. And let's say 3 weeks from now, or whatever, 3 months from now, it breaks again. I can just go into my hosting and revert to today's website. So however it used to be, it'll go back to it. It'll restore it. So like the problem we were having, it'd be like, oh, okay, we're having a problem, but let me just go back to yesterday and fix it. So it'll automatically save like 30 days. So if you can manually say I want today and keep that one forever, or it'll every day, it'll make a backup and it's there. And so that would have solved the problem. I would have logged in, I would have gone a day backwards, and then we would have been good. We would have kept going, life would have continued. So I have to, right now they're still using Ionos as their hosting, but I have to pitch them so hard to come move with us, because they're gonna do the maintenance. They're like, we're gonna do it. Like, we can do it on someone else's hosting, but it's like, we're just doing like updates, edits, and manual plugin updates, stuff like that. Whereas if you actually get on our hosting, which is technology, and their migrating process is like, it's not perfect, but it's fairly simple, and it's worth doing, because that way whenever you have problems, they're easily solved. And so that was like at 5:13 p.m. and I was like, oh my God, thank you. I can have a more chill weekend. We could watch these basketball March Madness games. And that was like great. And then today, this morning, I wake up, one of the invoices I had out was paid. So it's like, okay, last week I hated everything. Like, I was like sick of stuff. And then, well, actually Friday was good. Friday was like, okay, ramping back up. And then Monday, I feel good again. Like, it's like, okay, cool, we're back. And that's the ups and downs of doing your own thing with business and websites and digital marketing and maintenance. It's cool and it's not cool, ups and downs. So yeah, damn, this is a long video.